Let's give it up for the Pittsford Wildcats in the house tonight. The girls basketball team is here, and their head coach, Chris Hodos. Coach, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Andy.
Will there be school at Pittsford tomorrow?
Yes, there will. Mr. Cook told me there will be school, ladies.
Girls are thrilled by that news. Look at the smiles on their faces, ready to come back and learn at Pittsford schools tomorrow. Coach Hodos, you've got an exciting young basketball team. Tell us all about it.
We are young. We start 2 freshmen, 2 sophomore, and 1 senior who's a 4-year starter for us. So we do have a little experience. Other than that, we have 2 seniors, and we play young girls, and they work hard, and they all play basketball a lot, so that helps.
You run the defense on the football team, varsity football team. You're the head girls basketball coach. You're the head baseball coach at Pittsford. You've coached my kids over the summer ball leagues. You work with your kids over the summer in baseball and softball. Does Chris Hodos ever get a night off?
Yeah, once in a while. I try to take something off here. I get to go away once in a while. We just got back from South Carolina from seeing my daughter and grandchildren down there, so that was fun. And and thanks to Mr. Berger, he ran my practice for me over Christmas break, and without guys like that, I wouldn't have successful programs.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of people to do that. And, the decision to come in and work with this girls basketball team, I talked to Melissa Warfield about this a couple of weeks ago. People have had their eye on her team, those young kids through the middle school years, and yours. They had an epic battle last year in the 8th grade game, which had a huge crowd. There's some excitement right now in Hillsdale County for girls basketball, and I think it's cool.
Yeah, you're right, Andy. Unfortunately, last year we played the same night over in Camden, and I think there were more people watching the 8th grade game in Pittsford than there were at Camden watching a varsity game. So yeah, it is exciting. I know Melissa does a great job down there. She has some young girls coming up. I know the Cooney girl and the Lawson girl have been playing well for her, and she's got the McNeil girl. She had 200 rebounds last year. That's huge. You get 200 rebounds in a season, you're doing a lot of work. So they're a talented team, and I look forward to playing them.
Chris Hodos is the head girls basketball coach at Pittsford High School. His team is off to a 5-0 start. Break down the first quarter of your season. Talk about maybe the biggest win of the year so far.
The biggest win has to be our first night out. We came out guns a-blazing. We shot well in the first half. Played Adrian Madison. They returned 4 starters from a team last year that lost to Manchester in the regional finals by 1, and Manchester won the Class C state. So they're a good team, and that was a big win for us. Climax Scots, we hadn't beaten Climax Scots in 10 years or so, and Hillsdale Academy we hadn't beaten in 7 years. So those are 2 big wins for our program.
Yeah, for sure. And to bring in freshman players, you talked a little bit about J.C. Berger and Maddie Clark. Is she a freshman too?
Yes.
Just so I'm straight. So you've got 2 freshmen starting for you, and that's a big adjustment to go from 8th grade to the high school level, especially the varsity level. How has that adjustment been for your young players?
So far, so good. JC, she runs our point. I give her the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way, and she sets people up. She has more assists than she does turnovers. When you're a freshman point guard on varsity and you have more assists and turnovers, you're doing something right. So, and Maddie, she's made a transition. They play, with the Jackson Jets, and they play a ton of basketball, and they work at their game. And so, it's been a pretty easy transition for them.
Can you tell, this seems like a stupid question, but because it's changed so much from when you and I played. I didn't play basketball all year long. I didn't play AAU basketball. I did the season that was in. When that was over, I went on to the next season. It's a different world now. I mean, I know that those Camden girls that we mentioned, they play year-round, all year round, even when they're doing other sports. And is that something that you almost have to do to be maybe an elite program?
If you want to be successful, yeah. It's I hate to do it. We do it all summer. Coach Berger and I, we run summer passing leagues. We run summer weight room. My girls played, I think, 5 different places. We played at University of Michigan, Eastern, Siena Heights. In my baseball team, I try to push kids into, down to Hudson, to Post 180, into Jonesville. You got to play all year if you want to be successful. And I mean, I hate to do it to the families because of gas money and running kids everywhere, but if you want to be successful and have good seasons, that's what it takes.
Chris Hodos is the head coach of the Pittsford Wildcats. You've gotten off to a 5-0 start. As you look at your next couple of games, I know you had a game canceled last night. How much has the blizzard affected you? Have you been able to get in and practice at all, and what's next for your team?
Today was pretty rough practice. The girls, we ran up and down the court a little bit, and they didn't think we were going to condition at the end of practice. We already conditioned. We conditioned again, and their tongues were dragging. You can tell they've been out of, especially my freshman daughter. She didn't do anything over break. I can tell you that. She was dragging, so she needs to get out and run a little bit. She didn't run with me in South Carolina at all, and I asked her 3 or 4 times. And
you tried to get her to work out. Yeah. So what's your next game?
We play Friday night against North Adams at home. It'll be, Doug does a good job down there. Doug Dosway's your coach. I know he's young also, so he does. Caleb Levin's a good player. She's all league player for him last year, so it'd be a good game.
It's different because when we prepare for football, you spend all of the hours doing the film. You put together a game plan. You watch some more film. Maybe you've got 2 or 3 or 4 sometimes games to go back and look at. When you're getting ready to coach your varsity girls, do you have that same level of information about the teams? Do you scout at all? What kind of advanced knowledge do you have?
I do go out and scout. I think it helped us against Adrian Madison. I watched their scrimmage, and they played on the Monday night to start the season, and we didn't. And I went and watched them play. If I get out and get a chance to watch team play, I go. It's just like you do in football. If you don't do it, you're going to get caught blindsided, and the more you prepare, the better off you're going to be. And so if I get a chance, I go watch games. Like you said, I don't get a night off very often. And when I do have a night off, sometimes I go watch a game. It doesn't make Becky very happy, but once in a while she'll go with me. So.
And she wants you to win.
Yeah, she likes winning. I'm a much nicer guy at home when we're winning, I tell you that.
Chris Hodos is a great guy. He's such a huge part of all of the success that Pittsford has in athletics, not only just in football where he runs the defense, but the head coach for the girls basketball team. We talked to you last spring for your baseball team as well. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, a few of the Pittsford players are going to join us as we continue live from the Broad Street Downtown Market in downtown Hillsdale. PSR, the Wildcats are in the house. Mike and Dan, by the way, Mike Flynn and Dan Beischer will be broadcasting the North Adams Jerome Pittsford Wildcats girls game Friday night. That's a WCSR game right here on the radio. So listen to the interviews tonight, and then you can listen to the ball game, or better yet, go to the ball game coming up on Friday night. By the way, breaking news, are there any Michigan Wolverines fans here tonight? We have breaking news just over the wire. Brady Hoke has fired offensive coordinator Al Borges. And the crowd goes wild. Yeah, he wasn't good at his job. And I hate to see a man get fired, but that's big-time sports.
I'm a Buckeye fan.
Oh, so you wanted him to stay. You're disappointed in that decision. Darren Kittle coached volleyball forever in North Adams, a big part of our program, and he wanted to ask a question. He says on our Facebook page, having already beaten some quality opponents with such a young team, what are Coach Hodos' team goals, not only this season, but going forward?
We talked about at the beginning of the season. Our first goal was to win a league title. We haven't won a league title since '99. And that's our first goal is, to win a league title and do something we haven't done in a while.
And to get that SCAA championship with Camden Frontier in there, Hillsdale Academy's always tough. Climax Scott's maybe down a little bit this year, but they're good. It is a competitive league, but there are also going to be nights, and Melissa and I have talked about this, there will be nights in the SCAA when the team you're playing just isn't very good. And you have to be, as a coach, you have to be ready for those nights as well to keep the kids sharp and keep them focused. Yeah,
we've had some games that are, been out of hand, not out of hand, but, the score's been a little lopsided, and every time out I tell them we get a chance every time we go out to get better, and we break it down 4 minutes at a time. Hey, we got the next 4 minutes to get better. Let's we can work on this, we can work on that. So if the score gets like that, we rotate right through everybody through and keep working and try to get better.
And you've got all of that football experience, and as a football coach, I know that if we have a bad couple of plays, that eye in the sky doesn't lie. You've got that on tape now, and you've got coaching stuff you can do with that in the next practice.
Exactly, and we do. I try to find somebody to tape every game. Mike and I, we share a video camera, so you know, Pittsford funds are tight, so we share a video camera, and he was nice enough to buy it through the football program, and you know, he has a little bit of a vested interest in this girls basketball team with JC playing, so you know, he helps out a lot, and he breaks tape down for me.
Why don't you introduce your senior Lindsay, who came here tonight?
Lindsay's a 4-year player, Lindsay Billington. She's a 4-year varsity player in the program. She played last year, shot very well, had an injury at the beginning of the year, and shot the three very well, made 43s in I think 16 games last year. So Lindsay Billington, can't say a lot about her, because nothing bad about her. She shows up every day. Got ran over by a 4-wheeler this year, hurt her foot real bad, and still out there practicing. So.
Now, Lindsay, I just bought my kids 4-wheelers for Christmas. What can I tell them about 4-wheeler safety?
It's dangerous, but you just have to be careful.
Don't run over your foot is
Yeah,
a good
exactly.
start. Lindsay, you're a senior on this team. You've got 2 freshman starters in the varsity starting lineup. That's really special, and it's really rare to have 2 freshmen make that kind of a jump. As a senior, as a leader on this team, how have you helped them make the transition so far?
Well, they've done good themselves. I haven't really helped them adjust because they're pretty good, but
they've made the adjustment, and to have a couple of freshmen, how long did it take you to get the confidence in them as such young players that you could play with them and win some games? I mean, your very first game, you felt confident that they could compete, right?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, we went to University of Michigan and Eastern. We won all of our games at Eastern, so.
So right away you got that kind of chemistry, and what's your role on the team now? He said you can hit that outside jumper. Is that where you feel your strength is?
Yep.
So JC brings it up, you're on the wing. Are you like screaming at her, yo, throw me the ball right now? Is that how that goes?
Not exactly like that, but.
Do you guys run sets every time? Are you allowed to freelance, or are you running a specific offensive set every time down?
No, we do different sets all the time.
So you're never just running down doing whatever you feel like at any given time. Okay, Maddie Clark is a freshman on this basketball team. Maddie, thank you so much for being here. What's the transition to varsity ball been like for you so far?
It was just like a big step, but I was already playing AAU, so that helped a lot during the...
When you're playing AAU as a middle schooler, are you facing varsity quality talent, would you say, at that point?
Yeah, AAU is much high intense. It's not best of the best, almost, you could say.
Do you play all of the other sports too, or do you pretty much focus on basketball?
I just focus on basketball for AAU, but when I was littler, I did play
But
volleyball.
did you play Pittsford Wildcat volleyball in the fall too?
Yes.
So even during the volleyball season, you've got basketball kind of in the back of your mind a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, because, yeah.
What's it like taking this journey with JC over here? I know you two are both in the same class. You played a million times together. It's got to be nice to have another freshman with you going through this, right?
Yeah, most definitely. It's just extra support, always there, and it's good.
So your very first varsity game, were you nervous? Did you feel really confident? What did you feel like going into that game?
Oh, I was very, very, very nervous. Yes, I was nervous on how I'd perform at the varsity level. This is first time. Yeah, very nervous.
J.C. Berger's father is a big part of the school as well. He's their head football coach. He's their head boys basketball coach. He helps out Coach Hodos a little bit, and he's also the co-athletic director right now. Do you ever happen to bump into your dad at school at all, JC?
Yeah, I bump into him all the time.
I'm sure you do. Now, do you feel like he's trying to keep an eye on you all the time, or is it one of those things where it's just kind of you happen to accidentally run into him?
He tries to keep an eye on me.
I don't blame him. I would too. JC, you're running the point. That's probably the position with the most responsibility on the floor. It's your job to get your team into the right play. It's your job to set everything up. Have you felt like you've come of age pretty quickly, and do you feel pretty confident already in what you're doing?
Yeah, in the summer when I started off, it was harder to get everything under control, but as I kept playing more and more, the girls knew what I wanted to do, so it was easier to get everything under control.
have known Coach Hodos for many, many years. I've coached football against him for many, many years. He will yell at people. He will yell at people, players and other people, when he has to. Now he's coaching a girls basketball team. Does he still yell from time to time? How does he kind of treat you guys compared to maybe how he treats the football guys?
He yells at the football guys a lot worse. He hasn't really yelled at us, only at the refs.
But that, you know, you got to do that. Let me ask you, does he sit on a 5-gallon bucket at the end of the basketball bench?
No, he doesn't.
That's just baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he brought his bucket in with him when he was coaching baseball. You're out there performing. Are you concerned about what your dad's thinking? Are you more concerned about what coach is thinking, your teammates? Or are you just kind of setting your own standard?
I just try and set my own standard, because if I'm worried about what my dad's thinking or what Mr. Hodos is thinking, I'm not really focusing on the game.
Does your dad break every game down with you after the game?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Is there ever a time when he's coaching and can't come to your game?
Yeah.
So then he watches a film of your game?
Yep.
Yep, yeah, he breaks the film down. And your mom, I've been to a million baseball games with your mom when my kid was playing with your brother, and she seems pretty calm. Is that usually the case?
Yeah, she's more calm than my dad. My dad's more intense around people. Like, he just gets in the moment.
You know, your dad's been such a part of Pittsford sports, and now here you finally are on the varsity scene. It's got to be exciting to put on that blue uniform and go out there and play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm glad I can be a part of it.
Now, you've faced against Kendall Cooney and Lawson down there at Camden Frontier a couple of times. Now, apparently they beat you last year in 8th grade basketball. Is that true?
Yeah, they did.
And how hard was it for you to say that?
It was pretty hard.
Yeah,
you don't.
You don't like losing. Now, can we look for a pretty good rivalry with you and Camden Frontier through the years coming up?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you like to play them?
Yeah, I like to play Camden.
And you like to beat them?
I like to beat everybody.
You like to beat everybody. You're not singling them out. Lindsay Billington, J.C. Berger, Maddie Clark, it's great to hear from them. Coach, as you get back into the groove now, obviously you'll be able to have a practice tomorrow and then get back into it Friday. This has been a weird week. I know coaches like routine. We don't like anything messing our routines up. So are you pretty confident that they can jump back into the groove here?
Yeah, I don't worry about them at all. We came in, they worked hard today. We didn't have everybody at practice because, Pittsford, we have a lot of dirt roads.
Yep.
We had 3 or 4 girls snowed in today. They just couldn't get there, and and they'll get there. Hopefully they get there tomorrow, and they'll jump right back in with the rest of them. And these girls work super hard. Like I said in the paper, we go to the weight room. I wish our football team lifted as hard as my girls' basketball team. These girls, they don't take one. We go to the weight room. They don't take one exercise off.
They're not messing around in there.
No, they're not.
Yep.
And they're in there longer than my football team. So kudos to these girls. They want to be good. That's why they're good.
Last question, Coach, and I'll let you go. And we have Coach Chris Hodos and the Wildcats here with us at the timeout show at the Broad Street Downtown Market. What do you have to do as you look forward to the next 15 games and the tournament beyond that? What do you think is going to have to happen? What's going to have to occur for your team to reach all of the goals that you've talked about? What's the main thing you've got to improve on maybe to get where you want to get to?
We're pretty stagnant in our offense. We run, like I said, we run a lot of sets. We have a bunch of different sets we run, and they're lying. I let them freelance when they want. They can go run screen and roll, do whatever they want. So they're lying about that. But anyways, I think our offense needs to pick it up a little bit. We scored 60 points first 2 games, which is a ton of points, and we haven't been there since. We played some quality opponents, and just we're not reversing the ball like we should. And they play extremely hard defense. Our defense is. They work extremely hard, like I said, and that's all about wanting to on defense. So I don't have to worry about that. It's our offense, and when you're starting a freshman point guard, you're going to have some bad games. So we haven't seen them yet, but they're coming.
And that'll be the test. I mean, whenever you guys do get into a tough, close ball game and everything doesn't go your way, how will the kids respond to adversity? Because you will have to deal with that at some point.
And like I said, it's a good thing these girls have played a lot of basketball. Right. I know these 2 girls here. They've been to Cincinnati. They go to Flint. They play a lot of good teams, and they've been up against the best. So I don't think it should be a problem. But like I said, I start 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and when you're that young, about to run some problems here and there. I'm sure we'll hit a snag, but I'm very confident in these girls.
Coach, they got the right guy to run this team, and I always appreciate your help. Loved coaching against you. Didn't love losing to you, but I love coaching against you. And having you as a friend and somebody who's helped my kid even in baseball, can't thank you enough for coming out tonight. Terrible weather. To have you guys here, we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Andy. Thanks for having us.
Chris Hodos and the Wildcat girls basketball team, thank you all for being here very much. Good luck Friday night. That's a WCSR game Friday night right here on Radio Hillsdale, the Wildcats against North Adams.